What's up, guys? Welcome to the Nerd Militia. Today we're talking about Disney streamers and DC news. Alright, guys, like I said, today we're going to be talking about the Disney streaming service that they just announced, or not so much announced as they announced that they are going to be taking second tier Avenger stars and giving them their own shows on said streaming service that I'm assuming is what they're heading towards, because it's not going to be Netflix. And what I think about this, how I feel about it. I actually think it's freaking awesome. I think it's the best bet. I said earlier on when I was talking about DC Online that they absolutely had the chance to get the ball rolling on this and capitalize on. Sorry about that, guys. On the fact that they're the only streaming, I guess, niche service for comics right now. And I don't know what's going on. DC's being relatively slow. Their series look ridiculous, but that's a whole different video. But what I can say for this particular report that was put out, I think it's amazing. For an example, we'll take the Predator film that came out. Everybody wanted to know what happened to Dutch or what happened to Danny Glover's character. These type of things that happen that are no longer that are not really brought up in these films. So everybody's like wondering where they are, what happened to them. And this happens a lot with other characters in superheroes in films, where a character is maybe written off or they're off doing something else. And sometimes us as fans, we're like, what happened to him? Like, what's going on? And so I think this is a brilliant way. As the Marvel world gets bigger, characters will fall off or be written out, and this is a good way to give fans a goodbye to these characters, and it's even a better way to expand more, because the names on this list is like Loki and Scarlet Witch. Well, it seems like throughout this whole month, Disney has been releasing books or articles and little tidbits that are kind of more focused on calling Scarlet Witch a mutant instead of an enhanced person. So it looks like Fox has been bought out by Disney, and that deal's like about to be solid and all the way through. Well, now if you give Scarlet Witch her own 8-episode miniseries, you now have the ability to expand on that without having it have to affect the main MCU, which is really, really cool. And on top of that, they said that they're going to get like blockbuster money. So yeah, I do think it's a good thing. And besides, like, everything is moving to streaming services anyway. So it's not like this isn't new or anything. I think it's one of the best way to view said series. Everybody's moving. Like, you got that Star Trek show that's on a streaming service. I imagine the show that's gonna have Jean-Luc Picard come back is going to be a streaming service show. So like, plus you're gonna give it a blockbuster budget. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna knock it out of the park. I don't think there's anything bad about this. Now, I have heard people bring up the fact that, like, oh, maybe it's hard. It's going to be hard to like connect both these universes, or that's going to be confusing. Well, not really. I mean, earlier on in the game, Netflix showrunners have already stated that the Netflix series is its own series in itself. It's not part of the universe. I guess you could kind of say that, like, the MCU story timeline starts off like with one timeline all the way up to Avengers 1, and then that's where they split with Netflix and the proper MCU timeline storyline. So yeah, I think it's not hard, and this streaming service is probably the only series that's going to be connected to the MCU streaming service, or the Disney streaming service that's going to be coming out. So yeah, they're all connected, but I don't think it's like as hard or as confusing as it is that people are making it seem. So yeah, man, I think for fans this is going to be awesome. I don't think this is a bad omen at all. I think this is going to rock out for actors too, because now you don't have to worry and take out so much time out of your schedule anymore for these big blockbuster films. No, all you got to do is, like, it's 8 episodes and you're done, and now you're free. Sorry about that. My dog's got his toy. But yeah, guys, like I said, I think it's awesome. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I don't think it's like damaging to the actors. I don't think it's damaging to other aspects of the business, as most people would have you believe. I can't wait for it. I'm super excited. In other news, we have the reveal of Joaquin Phoenix and the whole like Joker thing. Look, DC just don't have the room for it. Like, and I know they phrased the clip as like as test footage or something like that. Right now, man, like if I'm DC, if I'm in the DC room, I'm telling the heads that be, you guys don't have room or time for experimental stuff. I mean, as a fan of DC, you guys, you just don't have time for that. If you're gonna put Joaquin Phoenix in makeup, you need to put him in makeup. Like, and I'm just judging this as that clip. I'm not judging it as the whole film, because the whole film's not out yet, and I feel like it's unfair to kind of judge it. But as for that little clip, you guys don't have room for experimental and like having us as the mass public who take in these films as like, oh, this is what it might look like. No, you don't have the room, because you've just put out shit this entire time that we it's hard for us to give you the benefit of the doubt. So if you're gonna put something out, you need to put something out with Joaquin Phoenix in the true Joker makeup. Like, none of this, like, you you can't give us obscure, you have to be a comic book reader to get this reference, so you have to be a comic book reader who is informed on the silver and golden age of comic books, because most of the general audience is just that general audience. They're not big time. They're not big into comic books like that. So no, you don't have the room. So I think this is a misfire. They shouldn't have done this. The little clips they've put out have been just so ridiculous. I don't think it does not look good. It just looks like they're trying to recapture what they couldn't recapture with Heath Ledger, without any of Nolan's craftsmanship on it and or his fingerprints on it. It just looks like a Diet Coke version of that, and I'm not for it. But again, I'm just judging that one clip. Now, to move on to something else that's really really cool is today I just picked up DC's Black Label, their first comic in the Black Label I guess like side publishing. Like, their new Vertigo is basically Black Label, and that's Batman Damned. And there's already been a lot of hoopla and craziness about this, guys, in the geek world and the nerd world. Already people have said, oh, it might get recalled. I don't think it is. And it's not for what you think it is, because Black Label is basically DC's answer to Marvel Knights, only it's years later. And so, like, it's not the brutality or like death scenes or anything. You literally get Bruce Wayne Dick in this comic book, and like, I thought it was the most hilarious thing I've ever heard of. Like, the idea that this is such a it's a big deal, b that it even happened is like crazy. But I mean, like, so far, other than that, I've read some good reviews on it. I'm excited to get into it tonight. I bought like 2 copies, the copy that I'm of course going to frame, and the copy that I'm going to read. And spot on. So even the way it's designed, and I hope all the Black Label books come in this format. Like, I shop at HD Comic Cult, and that's my local comic place. And like, they have to have like custom plastic to put these in, because these books are not even normal size books. They're like completely different, and I dig that. And I hope all the Black Label stuff gets that same sizing and whatever. The cover looks awesome, first of all. So yeah, I'm just really excited to get into this read. So guys, that's my geek news of the day. I hope you liked it, and as usual, guys, thanks for stopping by and geeking out with me. I will be at NerdBotCon in Pasadena, California this weekend, so if you see me, be sure to stop by and say hey. As usual, guys, I'll catch you later. Stay excellent.
So